Hello everyone, my name is Catalyst, welcome back to the channel, and Happy New Year. Today's video is going to be the part 2 to the positioning guide that I made a few months back, but today we're going to focus on how you can manage the chaos in Battlefield 2042, and how you can play and attack situations around you to achieve better results. If you're the type of player that gets antsy around the flag, or when you see that you're outnumbered you kind of just panic, this video should help you. This is going to be a guide aimed at players with some Battlefield experience, so we are going to forego the tips like don't stand still or don't stand out in the open, but I will of course give out general tips along the way. But before we get into today's video, I want to take the opportunity to tell you all about Medify. Medify is a platform that offers one-on-one coaching with experts from your favorite video games. Whether that be Mortal Kombat, Rocket League, Apex Legends, or whatever it is that you enjoy, if you want to get better, chances are there's a coach there to help you do it. With that said, I have been accepted as an expert for Battlefield and now offer one-on-one coaching sessions and VOD reviews for both Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 5. If there is something that you want to work on that I haven't addressed enough in my videos, or maybe you just want to know where you can improve personally, I can now offer you a way to do that through a paid coaching session. The link to my Medify account will be in the description and in the comment section, and those of you who book a session in the following 2 weeks after this video goes live will get a 10% discount. Use code CATALYST when booking. Big thanks to Medify for bringing me on board, and I hope to get to help some of you in the future. Maybe some of you who are new to this channel perhaps, who find this video useful. Okay, ad out of the way. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into the video. Whereas in part 1 we were watching some submitted gameplay from Glanshawn and I was critiquing it live, I thought it would be better today to explain my own gameplay. For one, I can pick and choose what we talk about today, and furthermore, I think it is a good idea to set a comparison between somebody who maybe doesn't have as much experience and someone like myself who has many years of experience playing Battlefield at a very high level. And that leads me to a point that I want to get across very early in the video. I've been playing Battlefield for 10 years, 6 years competitively. There is a lot today that you will be able to apply to your own gameplay, but one thing that you might not be able to replicate right away is the overall speed in which I do things. And I'm not talking about my play style, although it certainly enables it. I'm mainly talking about the decision-making process and how fast I read what's going on around me and how I should act on it. This is something that comes with time and repetitions in the game, something that you can broadly classify as quote-unquote game sense, and this does take time to develop, so do not be discouraged if things don't click for you right away. Take time to apply these tips at your own speed. And you know, Battlefield 2042 is weird. It is truly unlike any other Battlefield game. It is hard to get specific about what you should do because the game is very random. Okay, so we are going to watch each clip that I've selected today through once, and then go back and talk about it, why things happen, small things that you may not have caught upon first viewing. Okay, let's roll the first clip. Okay, well there's somebody else on the roof, feels that. Okay, yeah, wow, that's a lot. Don't worry, we're gonna go back to the beginning anyways. So, we are on defense, last sector of Manifest, and we know that people are on the roof of this building. For one, it's a popular place to attack this objective from, so it's good to expect people up there anyways. But in case we didn't assume people were up there, you can see someone dash across the skylight for a brief moment. We are also losing the objective, so in this case, you need to assume that not only is there more than one person up there, but there are multiple people on the objective just outside, so keep this in mind moving forward. In this situation, it would be better for me to try and find kills around the objective to give my team a better chance to get on the flag, instead of me rushing on the point to try and make a hero play and end up getting myself killed and losing the game. This won't come as a surprise to you, but your decision making and your positioning go hand in hand in Battlefield. The decisions that you make directly correlate with whether you are exactly where you should be or if you're not even close. So a couple of things to always take into account when you are on a flank like this where you have the odds stacked against you. One, you need to always have at least one escape route, and if there isn't one available, you need to go and make one. And number two, you need to keep in mind where enemies are coming from in relation to where you currently are. So we kill our first group of enemies here on the roof, and then we immediately check the most likely place that enemies can be coming from, and that is from the staircase, which also happens to be our means of escape in this example. A lot of having good positioning is accounting for where you are currently and where you have been. So I know that the roof is safe and that the only place people could come up from is either a grapple hook, the ladder on the other side of the roof, or these stairs. Somebody does end up coming up the ladder and shoots at me, so I know that there is one more person up here. Now at this point, I don't know that this player is Falk, and I don't know whether or not this player is going to chase me or hold the angle. In either case, in this situation, it speeds up my inner clock. I can no longer spend more time clearing the stairs because that player is up on the roof still and he could get spawns. So I have to quickly clear my escape route and then re-peek to try and win this 1v1, which of course I find that instead of pursuing me, this player was way too altruistic and decided to try and revive his teammates instead of killing me. So I re-peek and kill the newly revived players, and a McKay player grapples up the roof just past me. Now we still need to keep tabs on the stairs, but we can no longer dedicate a lot of attention to it, so we need to relegate that to just listening for footsteps. Obviously, the most important senses while playing are your eyes and your ears. When you cannot visually watch an angle, you need to listen with your ears. Now at this point, I don't know if the McKay has seen me or knows that I'm there, so I decided to challenge him, but as soon as I do, I noticed that players were revived again by an angel player that I could not see. At this point, my only chance at living through this encounter now is if I back up through the door, because when I shoot my gun at the player's proning, it doesn't matter if the McKay didn't know I was there, he is going to know as soon as I fire my gun, and instead of standing out there in the open free pickings for him, I need to buy myself some time to get the kills and then make him come to me. So I back up, and you can see him begin to shoot at me, but I cut off his line of sight, and line of sight is extremely important. Finish the kills and then bait the McKay into coming into the area that I feel safe and comfortable in, and finish the spree with the G57. It's going to be a reoccurring theme in this video, but when it comes to working in and out of situations where you have very little teammate help, the map really is your best friend or your worst enemy, and you need to operate in a concise area that you feel comfortable in. Now don't misunderstand me, that's not camping. You need to stay moving. I'm just saying that you need to operate in a zone of control, and you'll see a lot of good players do this where they work from one small section of an objective and take it over. For this next example, let's head over to the last sector on Kaleidoscope. I don't get it. Honestly,
Come on! We're being traveled by the enemy. Push them back or we will lose this fight. Work! Keep it up!
One v6 on the flag, no problem. That's a grenade.
If we can continue to hold off the Russian attacks,
From the moment we spawn in, let's talk about what we know. There is currently a 3-to-6 differential on the flag. This flag has 4 entrances to the main building, 3 on the second floor, 1 on the first floor. My squad mate is on the second floor, which means that the enemies on this flag could only be beneath us or in the opposite corner. This flag does also extend outside the building, so we'll have to keep that in mind as well. So we go through the process of elimination here, pre-aiming the angle on the second floor. I can't hear any footsteps, so wherever they are standing still, whether that be inside or outside. I decide to grapple over on an unconventional angle to where if there is somebody over there, it would be difficult for them to kill me. Mid-flight, I hear a footstep, so I swing my aim over and, Allah, it's a teammate. Obviously, you know there's an enemy in the elevator, but because I took this unconventional angle, I don't think I ever would have really been in any danger if my teammate wasn't there. When you are playing, it is good to be unconventional. Be creative. Don't take the same routes as everybody else does. That doesn't mean take wide flanks out in the open and come in for the huge master GigaChad flank. You just need to be able to find the middle ground between zerging with your teammates and separating yourself from the common traffic areas. Obviously, it helps when you're playing a character like McKay that can do things like grapple across an open floor plan, but just in general, it's good to learn common traffic areas and find off angles to cover them. So we know now that these enemies are all downstairs. Probably one of the most useful tips you'll learn in this video is when clearing angles from cover, you always want to use the cover and clear the wide angle first and then work your way through to the tightest angle. So in this clip, I jump peek and pre-aim the corner since it would be the widest angle and then work my way across. I actually do a pretty lazy job in this clip because I was pretty confident that they were downstairs anyway. So to provide a better example, let's look at this clip on discarded then come back. Here is a better representation of what I mean. As you can see that I start by working the wide angle, then work my way across the objective, killing enemies as I go. I cannot stress to you how important it is to take your time when you're clearing angles like this, because what you don't want to happen is for you to expose yourself and then get shot from an angle that you have already covered. And this applies to pretty much any piece of cover that you can peek from at any time. Heading back to Kaleidoscope, I clear some enemies from the bottom, but hear footsteps behind me, so I stop and pre-aim where I think they're coming from. I hear the footsteps run back upstairs, but before I pursue, I realize I'm getting shot from behind. I turn and look and see a person coming from the same area I killed enemies from. Now, any player will see that and think, oh, there's just one more person back there, no big deal, but you need to get into the mindset of considering all possibilities. So for me, I'm not just thinking that there's more people down there, I'm thinking there's a spawn beacon down there, and it changes how I play the rest of the fight. I'll come back and check that angle multiple times. Now this next bit is a great example of target prioritization, and this is without a doubt the hardest part of any FPS game, deciding who to shoot and when to shoot them. The first person I really see is the angel that's running away from me, but then I see this other angel player running out the doorway. This is where you really need to get into the minds of your opponents and react to what they're doing. I missed my shots on the first angel, so I think surely the other angel heard that and switched to him, but when he continues to walk out the door and ignore me, I switch my priority back to the original enemy because he had to have seen my bullets miss him and ricochet off the wall, which of course he did, and I'm able to kill him just in time. If I did not make that read, I would have been killed. Of course, then I think the other angel is coming back for me, so I run outside, find that he apparently did not hear me shoot at him, kill him in the back, and by then my teammates have flooded the point, to which I go back one more time and check the spot that I think a spawn beacon might be in. Wait briefly for that little pop sound the beacon makes, and then move on. For the final clip today, we head to Erica Harbor, where I spawn into a really tough spot and work my way out of it. Driver run into the building, causing it to collapse and killing me. Is that what happened? Okay, boys, how do you let that happen to you?
We've captured all of Sector Trump.
We're looking up troops. We control more sectors than the hostiles.
An objective is under attack.
Oh! God damn! So obviously, I think it goes without saying, I got really lucky here. I probably should have died, but pre-firing here saved my life, and sometimes you get in situations in Battlefield that you probably don't deserve to live in, but you do anyways, and it's up to you to make the most of it. Now, in this clip, you'll notice that I take a second to just stand still, and what I'm doing here is listening for footsteps, because from what we know from the state of the game, they have all the flags but the A flag, and if I'm spawning in front of enemies, chances are they are pushed up this far and there should be more of them. Some players may opt to try and run away or go hide in a corner, but sometimes it's better for you to just stand still, listen, and then plan your next move. Once I heard the first footstep outside the building, I peeked that way and find 2 more kills. Now, When you're situations like this where you are put into a spot where you don't know where enemies are, but you know that you're on the front line, you are going to want to set up an area of control. This is something that we talked about in the first clip, a place where you can work out of until you feel safe enough to move. For me, in this clip, it's going to be this house, and as you saw, I constantly cycled angles from my area of control and was able to kill a bunch of players and win the flag back. It's important to learn the map and learn common traffic areas, which from this point would be from the red crate, the construction yard, and the house over by the hill. Positioning is one half of the equation, but knowing where to look makes the game come so much easier. And then, of course, after we kill that first group of enemies, we feel comfortable enough to move out of our zone of control, area of control, whichever you want to refer to it as, and I take up the head glitch on the stairs to pre-aim an area I heard footsteps from, and the rest, well, sometimes you're just cracked out. Or, yeah, they also did kind of line up for me. But in any case, this is a situation in which I could have just rushed down the stairs and tried to bull rush my way into those kills, and I probably would have lost my life. But being patient and holding that head glitch made all the difference in that final kill spree. And that's the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. If you learned something new, drop a like on the video and leave a comment, perhaps on some other guides that you may want to see. Comments and likes really help me in the algorithm. If you like the video just that much, consider subscribing for more Battlefield content. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.